Chapter 13, Looking at Society's Role in Crime. In this chapter, connecting crime to decaying neighborhood structures, feeling the strain of not fulfilling society's expectations, observing how to become a criminal, keeping criminal impulse in check. Right? That's what you'll be finding in this chapter. I don't know if I'll read you all this and I certainly do not want to read so much to you because you don't deserve it. As I explained in chapter 12, rational choice theory is a prominent theory in the study of causes of crime. However, this theory fails to account for people's irrational decisions, and it doesn't explain how people develop values that lead them to make rational choices to commit crime. In this chapter, I look at some prominent theories that focus more on society's role and less on individuals' choice. In explaining why people commit crime, keep in mind that most crime is committed by young people. The theories I discuss in this chapter attempt to explain how someone gets into crime in the first place, which almost invariably happens during the teen years. Alone, none of these theories adequately explain why one person becomes a criminal and another doesn't. But by understanding each theory, you can gain some great insight into what motivates human conduct. Perhaps you'll also develop an appreciation for just how difficult dealing with crime really is. Introducing social disorganized theory. The Chicago School, a school of criminological thought that developed in the 1920s, argues that a person's physical and social environments are primarily responsible for the behavior choices that person makes. I'm not going to read that part. You can go and check page 190. We're going to move into studying strain theory. In general, a group of theories called strain theory contends that most people in society share the same goals of achieving wealth and success, but some people in lower classes don't have the same opportunities that their wealthier counterparts do, and as a result, they get angry when they can't achieve their goals. This frustration or strain leads to crime. I take a look at the different variations of strain theory in the following sections. But as we know, also over-wealthy people commit crimes more than people that don't have the money, because people with a lot of money can pay cover-ups. Okay? Anomie theory. Anomie is another word for strain. It refers to the difference between what a person aspires to do and what he can actually achieve. When Robert Merton developed the anomie theory in 1938, he focused on the interplay between the following two concepts. 1. Society imposes expectations or goals on its people to make money and to be successful. 2. Society approves only of certain ways to achieve these goals. Go to school, work hard, and delay gratification, for example. Yeah? Remember, Merton contended that poorer classes lack real opportunities for making money and being successful according to society's standards, which leads to anomie or strain or frustration. Take your pick. People who live in poor neighborhoods with bad schools and few positive role models are significantly disadvantaged compared to folks who live in better neighborhoods. At some point, people who are disadvantaged organize that they can achieve society's goals in approved ways, so they resort to crime to achieve success. In modern times, Merton may argue that bling, in other words, the gaudy jewelry that people who are perceived to be wealthy in inner city neighborhoods display, and the Mercedes and the BMWs that wealthy people from richer neighborhoods drive, demonstrates how strong and influential the social forces are that drive people to seek material success. The fact that drug dealers like to wear bling and drive nice cars shows that their concept of success is a significant motivator for their criminality. Merton's theory has been very influential in criminological circles, but one criticism of the anomie theory and other similar theories is that most people raised in lower class neighborhoods don't commit crime, and some people in higher class do commit crime. So lower class frustration is failing to achieve goals may be an explanation for some crimes, but it certainly doesn't explain them all. Okay? General strain theory. People are just trying to survive. So they also take the route of criminology because fuck, let's steal an apple. Let's eat today, right? So general strain theory. And rich people are like, yeah, let's eat another baby tomorrow. Here's another bunch of money for that. The general strain theory. In 1992, I'm just gonna say Robert A. because what is Agnew? Is that it? Maybe it's Robert Agnew. Developed a variation of anomie theory known as general strain theory. GST focuses on the strain or anomie that people in all classes can feel, not just the lower classes. He contended that strain isn't just frustration over failing to achieve the goals that society imposes, but the strain includes many other issues as well. For example, all classes, rich or poor, feel some of the following strains: the failure to keep up with the Joneses, to achieve what your neighbor has achieved, the failure to live up to your own expectations, the loss of positive influences such as separating from your parents or moving to a new community where you have no friends, the introduction of negative influences such as delinquent friends, alcoholic parents, and child or spousal abuse. Because people who live in good and bad neighborhoods may experience each of these types of strain singly or in combination. GSD seems to be an improvement on Merton's theory of anomie, which attributes strain mostly to the lower classes. However, GST still isn't an all-encompassing theory of criminality because it doesn't fully explain why many people who feel significant strain don't commit crime. Institutional anomie theory. We're gonna stop there. Wipe yourself from that full spoon fed I just gave you, and we'll see what else I read you. Okay?